At the start of September 2024, there was a change made on my YouTube channel that if I hadn't have fixed it, would have killed my business. And I have to let you know about this because it could be costing you a lot of money. So give me a few minutes and I'm going to show you what this big problem is. I'm going to show you how to check that you don't have it too, and I'm going to show you how to fix it in just a few minutes. Okay, so what's the big problem, Ed? Well, at the start of September, it was like someone turned my entire business off. Now, it's very, very rare we don't get daily applications, and for a few days, nothing came in. Now, at first, I thought maybe it's just a coincidence, but really, if something changes, you don't just sit there, ignore it, and assume it's a coincidence. You ask yourself one question. If everything was going really well before, what changed? And here's where things get interesting, because I found a change so seemingly insignificant that it was hard to believe it caused the problem, but it did. And here's how it works. So every day, about 100 to 150 people visit my sales page from YouTube. And on the days I post a video or an email, that doubles. And it's been doing this like clockwork for about 6 months. So when this massive slowdown happened, I went into my data and saw the answers staring at me in the face. On a video posting day, instead of my traffic doubling to around 300 visits, it had dropped to 30 in a day, a 90% decrease. Now, the type of video you put out can have a really big impact on the amount of traffic it drives to your sales page. But I tend to find that even if a video is slow on release and doesn't get that many views, it doesn't really impact website traffic that much. So a big drop just didn't make any sense. Now, I sat there thinking about this for a while and nothing really added up until I remembered, oh, I had made a tiny change. So think of your video description as an umbilical cord that feeds life into your business. What I'd done was cut off the oxygen supply to my sales page by changing just the call to action next to the link in my description from create a YouTube growth system in 90 days to grow a channel that builds a business. And that was it. That one change in text hammered the amount of people who visited my sales page for a few days until I turned it back and everything fired up again. And that is why it is critical you start taking your description just way more seriously, because if you don't, you're probably going to lose a lot of money. And the crazy thing is, about 500 people submitted their channel to be reviewed by me recently, and I didn't see one whose description wasn't killing their sales ability. The thing is, how do you change your description to get more sales? Because there's a ton of other mistakes people make that wreck this too. Well, I've made a little checklist for you, so let me show you how this works. Firstly, do you have links to Instagram or TikTok or Facebook in your description? If you have them there, you need to delete them because you don't need distractions pulling people away from your channel or your offer. Those are the most important two things. Do you have more than 2 links in your description? If so, cut it back to 2, max 3 if you can't handle the 4. But 1 is often best because then there's only one thing for people to do, so there's no distractions, so you'll get more clicks. The next is your video description really long and just stuffed with keywords? YouTube's really sophisticated now. We don't really need to feed it tons of text data. And a really short, clean and concise description is going to help you get more clicks. Max have a couple of lines describing what your video is about, but don't go overboard here. Next, do you have a direct link to your product below every video? Every video you make will drive traffic to your offer, so just always have a link. And the next thing is your link buried in the middle or at the bottom of your description? If so, just move it to the top where it can't be missed. If you want to sell something, don't hide it. And then finally, do you give people a compelling reason to click that link or not? Because if you don't, or it's not that good, you could, like I did, cut 90% of traffic off to your business. So in a second, I'm going to show you how to write a compelling call to action to get clicks. But first, there's one more thing I need to bring up. So when I sat down to write the script for this video that you're watching right now, I thought, let's see what the savviest business minds on YouTube are doing with their video description. Why not learn from the best, right? So I checked out Alex Hormozi. The guy's a centimillionaire. And guess what? He's got links right at the top of his description with a very clear, strong call to action explaining why you should click, and he's following a lot of the rules. Then there's Dan Martell. He's made mega millions. First thing you see, a link to his newsletter. Okay, this isn't a link to his offer, but that's fine because Dan will have a system that gets people into his email and then converts them into buyers. And then we have Wonder Kid Iman Gadzi. No links to his product. In fact, he's almost got nothing other than asking you to follow him on Instagram or Twitter. Which is kind of the opposite of what I just said, right? So does that mean I'm wrong about deleting social media or just having your product link really high? Well, yes and no. Because really what matters is the valuable lesson we can learn from this. In Iman's case, he likely has a plan to get as many Insta and Twitter followers so that he can then DM them to sell them something via DM. But really, the lesson is by looking at these 3 juggernauts of business, they all clearly have a strategy for their umbilical cord. It's not just an afterthought filled with junk. So whether you're pushing a product, or you really want to promote your email, or you want to build up your social media so you can DM people to sell them stuff, you need some kind of strategy here too. But I think for many of you, the simplest way to start is just to link to your offer. So now let me show you how to write a strong call to action so you can get clicks and don't cut off 90% of your traffic like I did. And it's pretty simple. All you do is write a quick promise about the result your product, service, or email will deliver, and keep it really short. For example, generate 1,000 leads in 100 days, or quit smoking in 90 days, or transform your style without leaving the house. Like my style. I wear swimming trunks all the time now, because I'm free. And that's it. Add your link next to it and you are golden. I would highly recommend doing this to every video you have, old and new, and then just keeping an eye on traffic to adjust the call to action if you need. The thing is, fixing your umbilical cord is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to making money from YouTube. Once people get to your website, there's a ton of other really common issues that destroy your sales too. So watch this video next to discover what they are and how to fix them so you don't destroy your business like this numpty nearly did. See you next time.